Hey, it's Kristen, and this is your Monday Growth Moment, a short reflection about doing the hard things that help us grow. Let's get into it. Today's moment is about giving yourself a test you can't fail. So when my clients are working on something new, whether it's building skills, trying new ways of coping, or pushing through old patterns, I always tell them, make the task small enough so that you can be successful. It's important to build momentum and give yourself corrective healing experiences where you actually succeed. You need to have those memories to be able to fall back on. And last weekend, I took my own advice. I gave myself 2 tests I couldn't fail. So test number 1, I decided to try running without music and see how far I could make it. I know. Just the thought of that, even now, makes me gag. Ugh, sounds horrible. The key here, I didn't set a minimum. So if I made it 5 steps into the run and said absolutely not, that was still a win because I tried. If I made it the whole run without music, same level of pride. So when I hit the point in the run where it got hard, I had an honest conversation with myself. Was this something that I could push through? Or was it time to turn the music on? I gave myself permission either way, and I promised I'd only speak kindly to myself about it. I ended up making it the full 4 miles without music. And now I get to add that to my memory bank of times I tried something new and hard and succeeded. Test number 2. This was also the weekend of my 5K race last weekend. I'd signed up for it long before deciding to run another marathon. So I spent the whole week debating how to handle that 5K along with, what my training plan had prescribed for my long run on the weekend. So my marathon training plan called for an 8-mile easy run. But for the 5K, I really had wanted to race it and beat a time goal I had set. Problem was, that easy pace wouldn't let me go for the time goal, but racing all out could wipe me out for training that next week. I went back and forth for a while, and I decided to split the difference. I did a 4 to 5 mile warm-up before the race so that I'd hit my long run. I did a 4 to 5 mile warm-up before the race, so I'd hit my long run mileage afterwards. I told myself that I'd try for the time goal in the 5K, but that the race would be a win no matter what, because the real goal was to participate. The first 2 miles of the 5K, I kept pace with my goal. Then I quickly tired. I watched my time goal slip away while I was still running, and I gave myself grace. I crossed the finish line 20 seconds slower than last year, and I'm still so proud of that because I ran hard in a 5K after already running 4 miles beforehand. 2024 Kristen didn't know we could do that. There was no way for me to fail this test. The overall goal was to show up and do it. So a pass-fail mentality with high stakes means it's more likely you'll fail. And that just fuels negative self-talk, which feeds the self-fulfilling prophecy. When you give yourself tests you can't fail, you shift the focus to effort instead of outcome. If you're starting a new hobby, aim for 1 day a week and don't increase the goal until you can maintain that. If reorganizing a cluttered area feels overwhelming, break it into the smallest task possible. Sometimes I tell people just to organize their socks for 5 minutes and call it a win. When I was trying to get into the habit of working out consistently, there were days where I got out of bed, did a 1-minute plank on my floor, and then got back in bed. And then I passed the test. If you're feeling depressed and struggling to get out of bed, your test might be, today I'll brush my teeth. It might be just with water. It might be with a dry toothbrush in your bed. That's okay. That's a pass. If your anxiety makes phone calls overwhelming, your test could be, I'll write the message I want to send, even if I don't send it today. And even if you just write the first line, that's it. That's a win. Effort given during difficult times matters more than the end result. The effort you give defines you. So give yourself tests you can't fail and see how it changes your mentality. It's really cool to have memories of success, no matter how big or small. So whatever your version of the hard thing is this week, I'm rooting for you. See you next Monday.